One Zambia, One Nation, time for the news on TV2, the pulse of television at exactly 18 hours. We begin with the headlines. All the 6 people who died in a road traffic accident along the Great East Road when a Dangote truck laden with cement overturned a week ago have been identified. One person has died while a 58-year-old man is nursing serious bullet wounds at the University Teaching Hospital UTH after being shot by a relative following a dispute. In sports news, the Football Association of Zambia, FAZ, says it will summon City of Lusaka Football Club officials over failure to fulfill the club's last 2 fixtures. With the news in detail on TV2, my name is Margaret Chisulo. All the 6 people who died in a road traffic accident along the Great East Road when a Dangote truck laden with cement overturned a week ago have been identified. The accident involved 3 males, 2 females and a baby aged 4. Police spokesperson Mwata Katongo disclosed this to TV2 News in Lusaka today. Ms. Katongo has identified the deceased as Albert Kaira, 43, the driver of the truck, and his assistant Stephen Mambwe, 34. She said that others include Samson Piri, 22, Elina Munsanje, 21, Tivalenji Banda, 29, and the Salaweka Banda, aged 4 years. Ms. Katongo says postmortem was conducted on the 4 bodies, except for Salaweka because the family refused. One person has died while a 58-year-old man is nursing serious bullet wounds at the University Teaching Hospital UTH after being shot by a relative following a dispute. James Fumbilwa and Charles Salanga, both from Ipongo area of Luomba village in Chiwombo district, were shot using a unknown type of gun. And police spokesperson Esther Katongo has disclosed to TV2 News that the incident occurred on April 13, 2018, around 01 hours in Chief Chitanda's area. We have details in the following report.
The pain is too hard to bear as the wounds are still fresh. Charles Salanga, 58, of Liomba village in Chiwombo district, was shot several times in the back. Salanga and James Fumbilwa were allegedly shot by their relative Dominic Salanga after a dispute. But as for James Fumbilwa, luck was not on his side as he died on the spot. And TV2 News has managed to speak to the surviving victim at the University Teaching Hospital.
2349 tezegoni naona chabe nyumba yapi so pamene inapya ninauka nachoka panja na mbochosa katundu na madamu wachoka bonse bana wanachoka tambo dabo pamene vinachitika choka paja na vera chabe futi alira winangu mwana wanga James Mfumbilwa anafa.
Salanga says the matter was reported to the police the day after the incident.
For 14 hours anabwera amene nenze nalembesa kuti uyu muntu ndio amene niganizira kuti ndio amene nani la samfuti manani fonsa wakapokora ni ndani na Dominic Saranga. Uyu muntu amene nenze osunga pa nyumba panga anakula mmanja mwanga na kumukwatirira. So ndio mimi nzokenza ati ndio mimi nani laso.
And victim's cousin wants police to clamp down the rampant illegal usage of guns in the area.
Ipempa government akuti batitandizire babagwire baja bantu. Then namfuti zija ziribe misonko. Please babagwire because balibe my rights yoyambola sabantu.
And UTH describes the victim's condition as stable.
And the kind of gun that was used, that's what produced the many bullets that he has. And so you're able to see from the x-ray that was taken here at the hospital that his back was actually wounded, but he's in a stable condition. And
police spokesperson Esther Katongo says one suspect has since been apprehended while the other is on the run.
This shooting happened on 13th April 2018 at about 01 hours, and police in the area have managed to apprehend one suspect whilst the other suspect is on the run.
Police have since launched a manhunt for the other suspect. Lucky Piri, TV2 News, Lusaka.
Unknown people have vandalized 2 ZESCO transformers along Lusaka's Mumba Road, which has affected some parts of the industrial area. ZESCO spokesperson Henry Kapata says the 2 vandalized are a 25 and 50 kV capacity transformers, which has affected various commercial farms. Mr. Kapata says ZESCO will now have to spend 146,470 kwacha to fix the 2 vandalized transformers. He has further appealed to scrap metal dealers that once caught with ZESCO vandalized materials. The punishment will be as same as vandals. Mr. Kapata was speaking in an interview with TV2 News in Lusaka.
Vandals vandalized 2 transformers, and we are talking about a 25 kVA transformer and another 54 kVA transformer along Mumba Road. Now, these 2 transformers feed the commercial farmers in the area, and this is very expensive for us as ZESCO Limited and as a country at large, because it's taking us backwards, as you know. Now, this means that we have to divert equipment to resolve some of these man-made faults on the grid. The fault has also disturbed our commercial farmers and the production of agriculture produce, which we all depend on as a country, and that's the route that we are taking as Zambia.
This is TV2 News at 18 hours. We take our first commercial break. More stories coming up. Do stay with us. Welcome back. This is TV2 News at 18 hours. In other stories, some residents of Lusaka ZAMBIA compound are having sporadic fights and verbal disputes at water points that have been set up by Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company. The residents say the disputes are because the water is inadequate. We have details in this report.
These water tanks are now sources of tension among the beneficiaries in Mutendere compound. They say despite getting up early in the morning to fetch the life-giving commodity, by the time they reach the front line, the water is already finished.
Water is not enough. It's not adequate for them. That's why they are fighting. Had it been that we have got running water, I mean, how can people come here and start fight? Because each person is supposed to get water from where he or she made an effort of putting a tap.
We are asking if they can put 1 tank in that next road. We were asking, they told us at first by level a bit. So we're just asking that Waboma Malanganepo, because we are suffering. We fight here. We insult one another here.
Women are suffering peacefully here in Mutendere. They are fighting because of water. So please help us.
On the other hand, those in Helen Kaunda are still hoping for the Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company to provide them with a tank. Currently, water is being provided by a Good Samaritan, but some residents say the distance to the source is too long.
Ma tanks dilibre Helen Kaunda mbanafaka koche Mutendere umu. So apa bantu 06 hours taba watanta mapa maraini full.
So kuti batulukisha pa government kwebati balolesha kufindu fe baraitire ba enough. Fetulelo makofi.
However, Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company Public Relations and Marketing Manager, Patson Piri, has advised the residents to use their focal persons to contact the water utility company whenever water runs out.
Left phone numbers there at all the tanks. Each tank has got someone who is supposed to inform us whenever the water has run out. Whenever they are leaving that place, they should leave that task. They should leave the tasks to the neighbors so that we have got that information each time the tank runs out. Our schedule is that we must fill those tanks twice in a day.
For now, one can only hope that the residents of Mutendere can find a way on how best to benefit from this tank without any dispute. Kabembeka Sabola, TV2 News in Lusaka.
Some residents of Lusaka's Kuku compound who had their houses flooded have vacated them. And the TV2 News crew found that while some residents had vacated the homes, others have started occupying the vacated houses after the flood waters receded. Several authorities have urged the residents of flood-prone areas to relocate to avoid being affected by floods every rain season. Details in this report.
Houses submerged in water but out of the rainy season. This is Lusaka's Kuku compound. Here, the effects of the rainy season can still be seen on some houses and roads. In some parts, tenants are slowly coming back to their previously flooded houses. I spoke to some residents and they had this to say.
Aya manzi ukomene mwaona kuti yankaleso manzi chifuka chachani tamaka ili pamwamba unaona so manzi yakuti aende across si across so lo hapa kuti afikeko kai apeva na segula ka drainage kaona tusegula hapa no wanda waya kwanisa kuenda but iso hapa niyo vala drainage yonse kuti
go banambo bwerera ko manyumba yao ayana yumako bena babwerera.
They also gave possible solutions.
Noti anangala manzi tara yanaona panga yanangala pamwamba sikwenzo ngala manzi aya manzi manje abwera kuno yagwesera huko noenda kumanyumba
titifuna kuti vakatisegureko kusogoro kuja aya madrone chikubeko ya maenda aya mapera suchabe manzi yasunga but vakasegura kuja kusogoro kuti manzi azienda mungwenya olo ku broad achisankhala bwino kuja kusogoro kuja kwaveni kwa mavala vantu vari kuja kusogoro.
Meanwhile, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit (DMMU) has time and again called on residents in flood-prone areas to move to safe areas. But this is not the case, as residents still have hope that help will come their way before the next rainy season. Luyando Hamwala, TV2 News, Lusaka.
About 3,800 social cash transfer beneficiaries in Chilanga have been paid for the month of November and December 2017. Chilanga District Commissioner Edith Mwana has since urged beneficiaries not to sit idle, but must venture in productive activities such as farming. Details in this report.
It is a program with an objective of reducing extreme poverty and the intergenerational transfer of poverty among vulnerable households. Chilanga District is one of the beneficiaries with about 13 pay points. Chilanga District Commissioner Edith Mwana has taken time to monitor the empowerment program. Here, Mrs. Mwana advised the beneficiaries to invest in productive activities.
I think your mind about that kufunika mwangena ko mkulima. Noti kuyamboli njira ijawani ite jamenti
Mrs. Mwana is however happy with the academic performance of those being sponsored in school.
Most of our learners used to shun school because they never used to have enough meals from home. But with this program in place, we've seen that there's a great improvement in our learners.
Beneficiaries are excited for receiving the empowerment.
Pano panili na koloko kabisi soluya mikira tabwalu kuti mwandi a president watu bamina achita banzeru kuti tandizira ise ole mala osauka mawido donse timo
nyonga ziko manipa paramu ya boma yamene yatutandiza kukumbuka abantu bosauka sivi tulisoisi ko parati 27 Winaambia kusebera mukena 1986 minasi antito sinisebera nikala chabeso.
Meanwhile, others also took advantage to inform Mrs. Mwana on some of their challenges.
Nikale twale mbetia naba poka ulako bambi badi pokako nomba ifuele lolu noru ine twale mbesha kuli banani
The district commissioner has since promised to ensure that the challenges are addressed soon. Ephraim Chiruba, TV2 News, Chilanga District.
This is TV2 News at 18 hours. We take our final break. More stories coming up. Welcome back. Mwembeshi Ward 27 Councillor Kelvin Kunda has called on the Road Development Agency RDA to work on the dilapidated roads in his area, and motorists in the area share the same sentiment, saying the poor state of roads is among the major cause of accidents in the area. Details in this report.
With motorists clearly struggling to move from one point to the other, this is the poor state of roads in some parts of Lusaka Zingalume area. Now, the roads, which can barely be seen, are an even bigger challenge during the rainy season. When the roads get flooded, they become impassable and pose a danger of increasing the number of road accidents. Councillor for Mumbeshi Ward 27, Kelvin Kaunda, is alive to this challenge and has called on the relevant authorities to address the matter.
Well, we've tried to fill up the potholes, but I think, as you may be aware, the filling up of a bituminous road with the gravel it does not necessarily provide a remarkable solution. What we want is basically to ensure that this road is worked on as a bituminous road, not as a gravel road.
Motorists in the area have told TV2 News that the problem needs urgent attention.
It's quite extremely bad. It needs attention. Because if the rain comes like this, it's a problem. Even our vehicles are being damaged.
Nepazi akakufa road. Chukua mamoto kaonuka maningi, makamakarucha zingarume, yaonuka maningi marodi. So atikile konzero at least kaya pamvula asira, so ngamba tia mvula chani.
It is hoped, for the sake of motorists and residents here, that the problem can be addressed before the onset of the next rainy season. Eliza Nyambi, TV2 News in Lusaka.
And in sports news, the Football Association of Zambia FAS says it will summon City of Lusaka Football Club officials over failure to fulfill the club's last two fixtures. FAS Communication Manager Desmond Katongo says the association is of a view that failure by the club to harmonize its operations can bring the game into disgrace. Katongo says if the matter is not resolved, the association will be compelled to remove the club from Division 1 football. He further says FAS considers the ongoing divisions at the club to be an internal matter and expects all issues to be resolved internally by the concerned parties. Katongo says the association gave the City of Lusaka 120 days to normalize its operations effective March 6, 2018 through the interim committee headed by Kaitano Chungu with representatives from both sides. Yesterday, two different City of Lusaka teams traveled to Eastern Province to play Katete Rangers in a Division 1 fixture. This led to match officials cancelling the game. And last Sunday, both City of Lusaka teams turned up to play Young Buffaloes at Woodland Stadium in a fixture that was also cancelled by match officials. World-renowned tennis Roger Federer says the Rogers Tennis Foundation is keen to support vulnerable children in Zambia to enable them attend quality education. Federer says he wants to promote the quality of education to boys and girls by providing them with education materials. The Swiss professional tennis player told journalists upon arrival at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport today. He noted that education is key to economic development. Federer disclosed that he is in the country to identify less privileged people in society. And Zambia Tennis Association President Wanim Siska stated that Federer's visit to Zambia would encourage young people appreciate that sport is also an economic venture. Musiska said that the association is also working round the clock to promote tennis in the country, especially among the youths. Before we end the news at 18 hours, a recap of some headlines. All the 6 people who died in a road traffic accident along Great East Road when a Dangote truck laden with cement overturned a week ago have been identified. The accident involved 3 males, 2 female, and a baby aged 4. 1 person has died while a 58-year-old man is nursing serious bullet wounds at the University Teaching Hospital UTH after being shot by a relative following a dispute. James Fumbulwa and Charles Salanga, both from Ipongo area of Liomba village in Chiwombo district, were shot using a known type of gun. In sports news, the Football Association of Zambia FAS says it will summon City of Lusaka Football Club officials over failure to fulfill the club's last 2 fixtures. FAS Communications Manager Desmond Katongo says the association is of the view that failure by the club to harmonize its operations can bring the game into disgrace. There we end the news at 18 hours. Do join us for another news bulletin which will broadcast at 20 hours on TV2, the Pulse of Television. My name is Margaret Chisulo. Goodbye.